The Ford Escape is a popular model in a popular class of compact SUVs, and Ford has redesigned it for the 2020 model year in the Escape's 4th generation now. Ford offers the Escape in 4 major mechanical variants, 3 of which we've had a chance to drive at Ford's media preview in Kentucky. Here's our early take. The Escape's base engine is a turbocharged 3-cylinder that pairs with an 8-speed automatic transmission. With 2 adults aboard, our front-wheel drive test car exhibited a little hesitation from a stop, but had enough power to feel reasonably brisk around town. All-wheel drive adds another 150 pounds or so, and when we drove a car with all-wheel drive and 3 adults aboard, it felt like a bridge too far. Acceleration became pokey, and the hesitation starting off was objectionably pronounced. Ford claims it lopped off some 200 pounds curb weight with this redesign, but if you need to carry all that weight on a regular basis, you'll probably want to step up to the Escape's optional turbocharged 4-cylinder. We tested one example with 3 adults and all-wheel drive, and it felt up to the task. Even with all that weight, acceleration is strong, especially as revs build. The 8-speed automatic feels tuned for fuel economy instead of fun though. Once you're in motion, it resists downshifting until you give quite a bit of gas, preferring to let the engine tack on speed slowly at lower revs. You'll end up wanting to drive in the Escape's sport mode most of the time, which keeps revs high thanks to far livelier transmission kickdown. There's also an Escape Hybrid, which combines a non-turbo 4-cylinder engine with electric power. It's a smooth operator with barely noticeable transitions from electric to gasoline power and enough overall oomph to pile on speed quickly even with 3 adults and luggage aboard. EPA mileage is still pending, but Ford targets 50% better numbers than the outgoing front-wheel drive 1.5-liter Escape, which works out to around 39 miles per gallon combined. If that pans out, it's competitive with the Escape Hybrid's chief rival, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Ford will also offer an Escape plug-in hybrid with a projected all-electric range of more than 30 miles, but it's coming later on. No plug-in hybrids were available to drive at the media preview. One important caveat though, Ford confirmed to Cars.com that all of our test cars, including the Escape Hybrid that we drove, were running 93-octane premium fuel during the preview. Ford says all 3 engines run fine on the cheap stuff, but officials declined to give output for the 1.5-liter or 2-liter engines while using it. Conversely, the Escape Hybrid is rated using 87-octane fuel, but officials told us it makes directionally more power on premium, which again is what we drove. Suffice it to say, all 3 variants of the Escape that we tested are likely to feel a little less powerful than what we reported if you use regular fuel. And given the additional cost of premium, we can hardly blame you for going with the cheap stuff. All that aside, the Escape drives fine otherwise. Most of our test cars had big 19-inch wheels, but pretty high-profile tires which soak up bumps fairly well. Rough pavement can induce some busyness and noticeable road noise, but the 4th-generation Escape keeps with its predecessors, which is to say it rides pretty well. It doesn't brake so well, with kind of a non-linear grabbiness and pedal feel across all the cars we drove. That's more excusable in the Escape Hybrid, which has regenerative brakes, less so in the non-hybrids. Steering is very low effort and feels a little numb on center, but it has a quick enough ratio to give the Escape a playful nimbleness. Body roll is reasonably contained, but the efficiency-oriented Bridgestone Ecopia tires on most of our test cars aren't exactly gluttons for grip. Inside, the Escape features an intuitive 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in all but the base trim level. Interior quality is competitive with other run-of-the-mill compact SUVs, and the seats are relatively comfortable. The passenger seat in top trim levels gets a height adjustment. That's a nice feature you don't often get in this class, but taller drivers may want more adjustment range. I'm 6 feet tall, and I drove with the chair nearly all the way back. A few of the center console storage nooks from the prior generation Escape are now gone, so are the large rear quarter windows that once helped your view out the blind spot. The 2020 Escape is a little harder to see out of and has a little less storage space up front, but neither factor is so bad as to become a deal breaker. Second row space might be a deal maker, as it's no longer as cramped as before, a major shortcoming of the 3rd generation Escape. The seat now features a sliding adjustment, and with it slid all the way back, adults should find the second row roomy enough. By our measurements, luggage room behind the second row is competitive with most compact SUVs, though anyone with serious cargo needs will want competitors like the Honda CR-V or Volkswagen Tiguan, both of which have cavernous cargo areas. Many competitors also offer wireless smartphone charging and more than the Escape's 2 USB ports, but Ford says those are coming later on in the model year. Ford pulls ahead with safety and driver assist technology, which was once a big drawback for the Escape. Automatic emergency braking wasn't even available before, now it's standard. And the available lane centering steering in the 2020 Escape works all the way down to a stop, a rarity in this class. All versions of the Escape except that plug-in hybrid go on sale in fall of 2019. Now the plug-in hybrid comes in spring of 2020. Pricing starts around $26,000, scoots all the way up to around $41,000 once you add all the options. A little bit steep at the top end versus some factory-loaded competitors, but competitive at the bottom end versus where the field kind of starts. Now, pricing for the plug-in hybrid still to be announced. Stay tuned, you can read plenty more about the 2020 Escape all on Cars.com.